Hello and welcome to the review of the Sony 14mm 1.8 G Master. You have to spend just under $1,500 to use this lens on your Sony full-frame camera or an APS-C sensor body. With APS-C sensor cameras such as the Sony a6000, you have the crop factor of 1.5. The video was made possible thanks to objektivvermietung.de. Make sure to test this lens before buying it. You can find the link in the video description. In front of us is the most compact and lightest 14mm wide-angle lens with a 1.8 aperture currently available on the market. It's not cheap, but quality has its price. Remember to check out the sample files. You'll find the link in the video description. The lens should fit in any camera bag and weighs just under 640 grams. Together with the Sony a7 III, you'll hardly carry any weight around with you. On the side, you can switch between the autofocus and manual focus. You also have a programmable button and two rings. One ring is used for manual focus and the other is used to adjust the aperture. With or without clicks is up to you. You'll find the appropriate switch on the side. If you prefer to adjust the aperture digitally, you have to set the ring to A. Two things right at the beginning. The smallest aperture is 16 and filters are not cheap. If you can think of a good protection for the front element, feel free to post it in the comment section. By the way, the front cover is included as well as a small pouch for protection. I would not worry about chromatic aberrations. It's almost non-existent on Sony mirrorless cameras. If it does, just use the correction in Adobe Lightroom. At open aperture, you can definitely expect significant vignetting. Adobe Lightroom doesn't currently have automatic correction, but you should be able to do it yourself with a few mouse clicks. Flare is barely present. I moved this lens in all directions and noticed a clear but rare lens flare from some angles. With super wide angles, it often happens that buildings fall into the background, optically at least, or faces look very distorted. Now you can see how the whole thing looks with a 14mm. I find the performance very successful. Convince yourself with the sample files from the video description. By the way, the image quality is very good. At open aperture, the photos are already crisp and sharp. You should have reached the peak at f1.8. At open aperture, in the corners, the image is a bit softer, but always sharp in the center. Fast autofocus is a must. The face is always tracked with the eye autofocus turned on and you're always in focus when vlogging. By the way, portraits sometimes look very cool with a super wide angle lens, especially with a great background. See for yourself. So here's the Sony 14mm 1.8 G Master. I'm filming myself at the moment using the Sony Alpha 7 III, 4K, aperture f6.3. And that's how it looks like. It looks like if you're trying to film yourself. You can still use it on a Sony Alpha 6000, for instance. Bear in mind, that you will have a crop factor. And the cool thing about this lens is that it's so compact and lightweight, and it fits in almost every camera bag. So if you travel a lot, it might be a good option for your camera bag. As a little goodie, I thought I'd do a quick comparison between the ZEISS Batis 18mm 2.8 and the Sony 14mm 1.8. Maybe 14mm is too wide for you and you're looking for a compact and lightweight alternative. Then the 18mm from ZEISS might be just the right thing for you. Extremely sharp are both lenses. The Batis also has a digital focus indicator, a very soft focus ring and the ability to protect the front element with a 77mm filter. The 18mm has been my faithful companion for more than 2 years and has not let me down since then. The link is also in the video description. Both lenses are great for use on a gimbal such as the DJI Ronin SC2. Back to the Sony 14mm. The closest focusing distance is only 25 centimeters, ideal for such close-ups with the possibility to fade out the background thanks to the 1.8 aperture. Besides a fast autofocus, this lens is great for filming events, landscapes and vlogging due to the open aperture because you don't have to push the ISO as much. Finally, let's take a look at the bokeh. Very successful with this lens, ideal for weddings, detail shots and wide-angle videos during hours of darkness. I would have loved to show you how well this lens does when taking pictures of the night sky, but unfortunately I didn't have much time with this lens. Compact, lightweight, sharp and a low closest focusing distance are the main features of this lens. A matching filter to protect the front element would be great, and of course if the price would drop a little more. If you need a super wide angle lens for Sony, you won't go wrong with this lens. Ideal for landscapes, interiors, events, video, city trips and night shots. I recommend the sample files from the video description as well as to test this lens beforehand. You can find the link to objektivvermietung.de at the top of the video description. If you're already sure and you want to support my channel, you're welcome to buy this lens or the memory card or the tripod via the link in the video description. Don't forget to follow me on Telegram and Instagram. All the best from the heart of Germany und bis bald. Tschüss.
When I'm sleeping with someone new, I just close my eyes and think